Welcome, Sojourners, to the Women's Leadership Mindset series presented by Teresa K. Page, LLC. My name is Teresa Page. I am your host and looking forward to spending these next few moments with all of you. We have a lot of work to get done on today, but first, allow me to invite you to connect with me by subscribing to my website and YouTube channel. Connect and follow me on LinkedIn, and always feel free to contact me directly via email at teresakpagellc@outlook.com. So what is our goal? Well, as an author, speaker, coach, and mentor, my mission is to help professional women renew their leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose through the mediums of leadership development and coaching services. However, the Women's Leadership Mindset series is a new initiative intended to spotlight powerful women leaders and how they serve the world through their professions and purpose. So with the goal to help women realize their unfulfilled dreams and re-energize the leaders they always were. This platform is designed to enhance, empower, educate, equalize, and even emancipate, as our special guests share their entrepreneurial stories, provide valuable resources, and guidance in a caring, professional, and impactful manner. So, let's get down to business. Well, all right. In today's video, it is my pleasure to welcome to my virtual stage Lisa Birnesser, owner of Lisa Birnesser Coaching, located in Asheville, North Carolina. Lisa is an empowerment coach for women professionals and entrepreneurs. She stands out from others with her diverse background in stress management coaching, operating her own business, and her innate creativity and intuition. With a Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy and a background in massage therapy, Lisa brings a holistic approach to her coaching practice. She is also certified in positive psychology coaching. Lisa's empathetic and understanding nature empowers her clients to overcome challenges and achieve their desired outcomes. Through her unique blend of stress management techniques, habit creation, and meditation and mindfulness practices, Lisa helps her clients find inner peace, develop positive habits, and create lasting transformation in their lives. To contact Lisa, you may connect with her on her website at unlockyourinnerpotential.com. You may also connect with her via email at lisa@unlockyourinnerpotential.com. And you can also connect with her on social media on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook at Lisa Birnesser. We will bring all of this information along with Lisa's free gift before we go. But I just want to say, welcome, Lisa. Welcome to my virtual stage. How are you doing on today?
I'm doing well, and thank you so much for having me, Teresa. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. We're sitting here on this Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm just really excited. Are you prepared to lay out the feast for tomorrow's festivities?
Absolutely. The turkey's thawed and ready to roll.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I guess before we really get started, Lisa, we have a big weekend that's coming up for us entrepreneurs in the street. So we have Black
Mhm.
Friday, we have Shops Small Business Saturday that's coming up, as well as Cyber Monday that's coming up on Monday. So what kind of surprises do you have for your clients going into this weekend?
I have some, I have seven-minute audios for relaxation so that people can pull them out at any time. That's my offer.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, you have to tell us a little bit about that before we go on today, so that we can also encourage others to connect with you before this weekend, if possible, or into next week when this will probably release. So thank you. So I'm so excited about our conversation. We have been able to engage in virtual networking in different spaces, women who do business with Kate and Jacobs and all of that. And it's just been wonderful. We've had a one-on-one. So I'm really excited what I've learned about you thus far, and excited for our audience to hear what you have to offer us on today. So we're going to go ahead and get down to business. And so let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you laid out a whole lot about me. But I think the biggest thing is I bring a lot of experience, but I also, um, my core values of strength and having focus and gratitude, I bring that into my work every day. I really believe that simplicity is is really important in business, and to keep grounded in the values and aligned in what you believe in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you mentioned with all of that wonderful, what you just listed out just now was wonderful, but a word that stuck out to me was gratitude. And so
Mhm.
we're in this season of thanks, connecting with those that we love and all of that, whether it's family or our friends or even our colleagues and clients. So, what are you grateful for right now? What do you have gratitude for as we step into this holiday season and to wrap up the last part of 2024?
I really have gratitude for the peace, this and the health that I have during this time, and just going through Hurricane Helene. Just a lot of blessings and a lot of gratitude um, for my family, and for my home, and to be able to continue my business and support the community as I can. I have a whole lot of gratitude today and every day. That's one of my real core values, is gratitude.
Wonderful, wonderful. And our thoughts and prayers to you and your family and the community and all of those in the western region of North Carolina that was really hardest hit by Hurricane Helene. If there's any way that we can be a support, please let us know so we can share that with our community, because I know that it's going to take some time to kind of rebuild and to restore that particular area of the state. So blessings and fast recovery to all of you. So just thank you so much for remaining steadfast and focused during this particular time. So as we move forward, Lisa, I'm really excited about your business and the things that you do for your client. So I want you to give us a little bit more insight about your organization, the services that you provide, as well as the clients that you love to work with.
Yeah. So I show high achieving women go from overwhelmed to empowered, take control of their schedules so they have more freedom for themselves without all the guilt. I provide one on one coaching currently, and I focus on issues such as productivity struggles, lack of clarity and focus, difficulty in setting boundaries, and the disconnect that women may have between their personal and professional goals.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for high achieving women, especially for a lot of women who are go-getters like yourself and like me and you and others, especially in this entrepreneur space, you really have to be hungry and kind of go get it as a as a shark, as a hustler.
Mhm.
That's just the life of an entrepreneur. Why do you think for women who are high achieving that has so many great skills, a lot of great education, and all of those things. Why do you think that we struggle so much with being able to set boundaries for ourselves?
We are very nurturing. We are very caring individuals. I think that when we see something that needs to be done, we do it. And so a lot of times that focus gets blurred because we love to give. We love to be there for people. We love to support. We love to nurture. And there's only so much of us to go around. And I think that it's important that we learn about our own values, our own strengths to keep aligned so that we can make it a lot. easier on ourselves, and we were able to give more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that in previous conversations that's similar to this one that I've had the opportunity to be in, um, a lot of, I guess, the answer to try to create those boundaries is learning how to say the word no.
Mhm.
um is
Yeah.
learning how to say the word no. And I think oftentimes we kind of leave it in that space, in that realm of just learning how to say no and understanding that low is a no is a complete sentence. But I also like to look at learning how to say no, but gives us so much opportunity to say yes to other things that we love and that we truly believe in. And can you talk to us about what how you feel about that? Um, how to learn how to say, maybe not always just saying no, but how to make room to so you can say yes to those things that you absolutely love to do, those things that's absolutely connected to your core values. How do we do that maybe from a high level point of view? From your point of view, how can we make more room for yeses for those things that we want to do?
I think it's a perception of what saying no just means, like pushing things out, when we're actually saying yes to ourselves and bringing ourselves in. The more that we can be present, the more that we can be in our core self, and the more that we have nurtured ourselves. And it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to go take a bubble bath and get a massage. It's all about that time where we make sure that we have just for ourselves, and that we learn different techniques or things that are going to build us up and keep us filled up, so that whatever spills over, we have more than enough to support other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. I absolutely love that. Now, Lisa, you shared with us that you do work with high achieving women. So what is the best ways for you to acquire clients for your organizations? How do you do that? What is the best way for you how do you find these high achieving women to work with?
Um, Through public speaking, also through word of mouth, social media, as much as I can get out there to let people know what I do, because it's a little bit different than, it's more personal development based than business based, but it also includes that, the fact that women do have a business. But those are the ways that I acquire clients.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, as you know, now I'm a North Carolina girl. I was born and raised
Uh-huh.
here in North Carolina, and I've spent the last 13 years in Atlanta. And so I know that the understanding here is that people want to work with those that they know, that they like, and that they trust. So that's a mantra that I hear all the time down here in Georgia. I'm sure that it was something that was really grounded in me, even in North Carolina, is learn about trust. So how do you establish that authentic trust with your clients? How do you do that?
I think that I'm pretty, I wouldn't say vulnerable, but I'm out there. What you see is what you get. I'm a pretty authentic person. And what there's not anything that I hide or I act differently in any other situation. I am who I am, and I think that I'm real, so that people are able to just get to know me and say, all right, I want to hang with her, I want to talk with her, I want to chat with her.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I love that, Lisa. Now, as entrepreneurs, like I said a few minutes earlier, we have to be go-getters, we have to be sharks, we have to be all of that. And it can be, while it is relatively simple to build a business, as individuals, I have heard that it can be very simple and straightforward to build a business, but it can be a little wonky sometimes. It's not always sexy.
Mm,
So
true.
why don't you share with us in your entrepreneurial journey, either um, a funny incident that the most funny incident that you've experienced, or even the most intense experience that you may have had. So take us behind the scenes, behind the curtains, and
Sure.
talk to us about some of the most funny or either the most intense adventure that you had thus far while building your business.
Well, the most intense adventure that I've had is I had a retreat, a stress relief retreat, in the mountains of in the Smoky Mountains at a chalet, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I did the best I could. And not everything went well, but everything went. And I had to learn to roll with the punches, whether it was food I was providing or something, whether the yoga person showed up or I had to jump in and do a massage for people because we were offering massages. So it was just like, okay, just let me roll with the punches and not take this personally, and I'm going to get through this.
So how did you, what were some of the lessons learned from that experience, you think?
I really think it was just not taking it personally and just going, you know what, this is going to happen, because nobody was really bothered by it but me. So
Right.
I was like, let me let this go, because it's if I start to take it personally, then that's when my inner critic steps in, and so I have to kind of be watchful of how I'm speaking to myself, or if I'm beginning like, oh, putting myself down in some way, and that's where it can sneak in.
You know, you just said something there just now about watching how you speak to yourself,
Hmm.
so that inner critic doesn't show up. I really like that. Um, just to veer off, just off the beaten path for just a moment, tell us about how we as women, and that seems to be a common thing for us, that it's called different things, either the inner critic or the imposter syndrome or different things like that. How do we quiet that voice and be and watch how we're speaking to ourselves? I like the way you formed that. How can we do that just on a high level way? How can we watch the way that we speak to ourselves, especially in intense moments?
It's really training to listen for that voice. So it's because we're going to be more apt to criticize and get to ourselves first than we are other people. Um, so it's really about listening for that. If you're starting to criticize yourself, to stop, take a breath, and just say, you know what, it's okay, honey. I would say something just like I would say to another human being. I would talk to myself, and to give that same love and compassion to myself that I would give to another human being. And sometimes it might just be some self-soothing of crossing my arms and rubbing my arms and giving myself a hug. You're going to be able to, after 20 seconds, release some good, feel good chemicals in your body. And so it's a matter of stopping and not letting it roll by, but really stopping, acknowledging, breathing through it, and stepping back, because it's your nervous system is all involved in it at that point. And so it's being aware that it's even happening, and then stepping in and doing some tools to take care of it.
Yeah, I really love that. If I understood, you gave us kind of four good points to stop, take a breath, acknowledge it, and kind of step back. But I really love what you said about talking to ourselves in a way that we would talk to another human being that might be having those kind of experiences. So I really love that, giving yourself that hug, that deep breath. Thank you so much for giving us those quick tips. I'm sure it's
Sure.
more, but that's a quick tip right there.
Great.
And so, Lisa, as you know, this is the Women's Leadership Mindset series. And so I believe that every woman is a leader. I believe that we have a particular controlling influence, whether it's over a particular industry, a domain, a cause, a people, a territory, or a region. So share with us What kind of leader are you? If you had to put a name on it, what kind of leader would you say that you are?
I would say I would say compassionate. I would say leading by example. Um, Back in the day, I was in corporate with in rehab when I was an occupational therapist, and I got in there right in the trenches with the therapist. I would listen intently what they had to say and to be a support to those, and that basically that rolls over into how I coach. But I think that those would probably be the skills that I would say as far as being a leader.
Awesome, awesome. And you talked about that deep listening. I think we may not always know how to do that. We've often heard that we just listen to respond and not really truly listen to what the other person is saying. And so, again, I'm gonna ask you to take it high level. And especially as far as in that vein of being compassionate. So, from a high level point of view, from your perspective, what are some really quick tips that you would give us to help us with deep listening, so that we can understand, and especially for entrepreneurs, so that we can understand what our clients are really telling us, so we can
Mhm.
offer the services that they actually need. So, just a few high level quick tips. How do we learn how to deep listen?
Sure. I think the first thing that I do is I ground and center. I really make sure that I'm being present in that moment and that my mind isn't going off 10 other places because that can happen very easily. And so if I'm right here in my body present having this discussion with you, that's where I'm at. But I'm also listening and um I'm doing reflective listening back, and that's I think very important to make sure that you heard what that person was saying, because it might have been you may have interpreted it some completely different way. And so I think that by um staying present, listening, and doing reflective listening are huge. It's a huge gift to give to another human being, is being present in that moment.
Wonderful. Yeah, I like the way you said it's a huge gift to give that individual. So high level, being present, being in the room, being in the room if you're going to be in the room,
Right.
as well as that reflective listening, kind of giving back to them what you believe that you've heard, so you can make sure you're on the same page. So thank you so much. I absolutely love that. Now, now, Lisa, as far as with the work that you're doing today to support high achieving women, to help them to move forward, especially whatever endeavor they're working with, um, I know that you're working with women here in today, but one of the questions I always love to ask my guests is, how will future generations benefit from the work today? So why don't you tell us, what do you believe that you would like your coaching to do? What impact you would hope for it to have for our future generations based upon
I
what you're doing today?
I love that question because I truly believe that if one woman steps in and empowers herself completely and is her authentic self, then that one woman in each of her experiences, whether it's with her children or her family or the people that she works with or for, if they can be able to carry that on to other people, then my dream is for that to exponentially spread. That's what I want my legacy to be.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I like the way you said, if that one woman, you should write a book on that, on that theme, that one woman, and what that can
Uh,
do. I love
I like
that.
that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Lisa, just based in our one-on-one and different things, when I introduced myself, I shared with you that, I am passionate about utilizing the love as the ultimate success factor
Mm,
to help
mhm.
renew women's leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose. And I absolutely believe that the effective power of love it is a game changer. And not
Mhm.
just in our personal matters, in our lovey-dovey matters, but I also believe that it gives us an edge in our business to help us to be innovative, to help us to be powerful as leaders, and as you mentioned, to be fully present for our stakeholders, as well as being knowledgeable about our industry trends, and
Mhm.
also being benevolent in our community service. I believe that's how love can show up for us, even in our business models. So, can you share with us, with you being a compassionate leader, can you share with us how has love tangibly shaped you to be the leader that you are today?
I think leading with an open heart, I'm not I think that I'm staying in the present moment, but I'm not judging. When I'm not judging, I'm not being judged. So I'm not bringing that energy towards or perceiving that I'm being judged. And so leading with an open heart, you get so much more and you give so much more. And it's not of you. A love is a different vibration. Compassion is a different vibration. And so I think that leading as a compassionate person allows us to be able to fill our cups up and let the overflow happen. I think that's one of the biggest secrets.
Absolutely. I love that, having that open heart. And it was something that you said about not judging, but not judging others, but most importantly, so that I'm not being judged either. So it goes both ways. I've never really heard it quite that way. So thank you for kind of laying that out for us. Absolutely love that about having that open heart. So how do you practically implement the functionality of love? How do you bring all of that into your business model, with whether it's within your services or your core values? How do you practically implement that within your business model, or the functionality of love within your business model?
I just think being me and being authentic. Um, then I'm using that. Using that as a tool within my coaching, and so when I'm being present, I'm there's nothing getting in the way between me and you, and that higher vibration of love just brings things more it makes it more real.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Lisa, I don't know, it may sound like a backtrack, but maybe not. And even if it is a backtrack there, it's all good.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell us more. I know that you work with clients and you work with high achieving women. Can you tell us what it would look like, what a coaching experience would look like with Lisa? What does that look like for us?
Well, the first thing that I do is I help women to be able to identify what's getting in their way. So I do what's called the Stress Mastery Questionnaire. It takes like 15 or 20 minutes, but it helps you to identify the top reasons that what is getting in your way. Is it perfectionism? Um, is it anger? Is it that you have resentment towards what you're doing? And so it's able to quickly identify that and to be able to lay it on the table and say, this is what's happening. And from there, um, being in developing techniques that are going to help that client be able to focus and shift out what's not important to focusing on what is important to them. I help them to be able to identify their top 5 strengths and to clarify their values and have built that basement, so to speak, of tools that when we jump into business, we may not necessarily have in place. I know that was the case for me. And even though that I was taught all this stuff in school, I make sure that those pieces are in place to help that woman to be able to support, and it allows them to be able to be in their own skin, be who they are, be their authentic self, and not let their energy leak or get drained. So we take a look at that. I also help them to be able to focus and see a vision of the future. What is it that they really want to do? So once some of that stuff begins to clear away, I help them to be able to have a clarifying um, session on being able to focus on what they really want for themselves and what's their vision for the future, what is their vision for what they want to be able to accomplish. And then all in amongst that, we work with setting boundaries. Where is their time leaking? What is happening? What are they doing to support themselves in being able to say no, but what are they doing to bring themselves in? um, everything is based on everything is based on exactly what somebody needs, but those are the pieces that they would get in my phase one program.
Awesome, awesome. And thank you for sharing that with us, Lisa. And just to, as we prepare to wind down our conversation, can you help us to understand, with women, why is it so hard for us? And especially again, going back to that entrepreneur mindset, that it does take a certain type of gear to move forward as an entrepreneur. And I find that a lot of women is that we can do the work physically, we can do the work, but when it comes to articulating what our strengths are, articulating what our values are, or even articulating what we really want for present as well as our future. You talked about getting those things out of the way. Based on some of the clients that you have worked with, what has been some of the themes about those things that's getting in the way that prevents women from being able to clearly articulate their strengths, their values, and what they really want for the future? What is it? What is it when we can actually do the work, but we can't articulate it? What do you think that's about?
I think it's owning who we are. I think that it's you may know that it's a trait or it's something that you really want to be able to have it aligned with you in your life, but it's also owning it and not giving it away. It's being able to embrace and empower who you are and actually saying it. I think makes a big difference. I, when I have done strength and value alignment in coaching, women are like, "Wow, I didn't, that makes a lot of sense." They may have like touched on it, but they don't see how it actually builds into their life, into their business, into their personal life, into themselves. And I think that that's the difference. Is it's just owning it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like the way you said that actually saying it. From a high level point of view, what is us actually saying it and hearing ourselves saying it? What makes that difference? What turns that on, or what helps us make that connect with saying that out loud? What happens when we say things out loud?
You begin to connect the dots. Well, oh, so I'm like this. And so, oh, so I think this and I believe this. And when I say that I'm going to go do some extra work and one of my values is family and I'm constantly working late and I'm not valuing my family, I'm in a misalignment. And so it's like bringing that awareness at a higher level of saying, oh, I value my family. This is very important to me. I need to make decisions based around that. And so that's when it begins to shift and to bring that awareness to who you really are.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's so
Sure.
awesome. That's so awesome. So, Lisa, as we prepare to kind of downshift in our
Yeah.
conversation, we still have a little bit to talk about, but now is an opportunity for you to educate us. And you've been telling us and giving us some great high level tips along the way in this conversation. But for right now, what tip or encouragement or resource would you give to someone that is considering stepping into a new dream career, the career that they always wanted, or even starting that business that they've always wanted to do, but they were just a little nervous about it? They're not quite ready to take that jump yet, but it's still something that's messing with them. It won't be
Yeah,
quiet. It won't go away.
and
So,
it won't.
what tip, what absolutely. So what tip, what encouragement or resource would you give to those to make them take that leap for that dream career or that dream business?
And I love how you said that because it will nag at you until you do it. And even if anybody would have ever told me all the things that have happened as being an entrepreneur for being in my own business for almost a couple of decades, um, I still would do it. And so I think the tip that I would give is to step back and reflect on what truly matters to you and not to forget that. Um, to note that sometimes you're going to be frustrated, and that can be a sign that you're out of alignment of what your values and what matters most to you are actually showing up in your life, that there's not some sort of misalignment there. So, to make sure that you create space for clarity, that you're mindful about setting boundaries, but start small, be intentional, and take small and actionable changes, but be consistent about it because that's the part that makes all the difference in the world.
I love that. Start small, be intentional, and be consistent. Absolutely. Now, staying in that same vein, let's talk about those who are already living the dream. They've taken the leap, they're in that new career, they're in that new business, but they've run into maybe they're feeling a little bit frustrated, they're feeling a little bit stuck because things are not pushing
Mhm.
forward or they need to push forward. So, talk to those. What tip, encouragement, or resource would you give to someone that's already taken that leap, but they're feeling a little stuck or frustrated? What would you give to them?
Yeah, I think having someone to help, having a set of eyes to take a look at what's happening within their business and their life makes a big difference. Having a coach to be able to support. Um, But where I noticed it the most in my personal growth was when I started to scale up. I started to expand. And I expanded in less than 2 years of opening my business and opened a wellness practice and started hiring people. And I didn't get all of those things in place that were going to support me in my own health and my own mental health and expanding my business. So I think it's making sure that if you're going to grow in particular or you're wanting to add something on, to make sure that you have those pieces in place to help support you to be the most effective heart-centered person that you can possibly be.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, Lisa, you have a free gift for our audience.
I
So,
do.
quiet your inner judge, three keys to grow self-compassion for women entrepreneurs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It's really all how self compassion and being an entrepreneur, business owner, or leader can work together. Um, and understanding how self kindness, how to incorporate self kindness in your business journey to be able to know how to deal with setbacks, because setbacks aren't failures. And I think really having a different kind of mindset and some resilience, I go over some resilience tips in here to be able to get through a difficult time. And also to be able to tap into connecting with other entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, people of like mind, because we women as a collective, we've got our own jargon, we've got our own thing, we know different things that we don't have to explain and opt in, or we have our own language. And I think women get women, people get people. And I think having that community to elevate your business makes a big difference.
Well, that's awesome. So thank you for sharing that gift. We're going to make sure that we put that in the bio for our audience. So we want to say thank you. So Lisa, it was such an honor to be able to spend some time with you on today. Are there any last words that you would like to leave us?
Um, I think just to remember that self-care isn't selfish and it is the foundation of your success. And really defining what self-care means to you can give you all that support to lead with an open heart.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you for leaving us with those kind words. Again, it was such an honor to have you on today. Really excited about this conversation. Thank you
Me
so
too.
much.
Thank
Well, ladies, we
you.
want to thank you for joining us. Remember to connect with Lisa and her free gift. So you can connect with her by visiting her website at www.unlockyourinnerpotential.com. You may also email her at lisa@unlockyourinnerpotential.com, and be sure to connect with her on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook on Lisa Birnesser. And also, don't forget, you can have access to her free gift, Quiet Your Inner Judge, 3 Keys to Grow Self-Compassion for Women Entrepreneurs. So to learn more about that free gift, visit unlockyourinnerpotential.com/self-compassion. And Lisa also invites you for a one-on-one conversation. So you can also connect with her at calendly.com/lisa.vanessa/burnout-breakthrough. So we're going to put all of this information in the bio, so make sure you connect with Lisa. Now, leaders, do you have an important story that you would inspire others to step into their dream career or business? If so, please check out the bio to learn how you could become one of my special featured guests. And also, I would like to invite all of you to check out my brand new book, My Journey to Wholeness, Love the Success Factor. It is now available on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble. This book and its companion reference guide workbook is a tangible demonstration of how God's love develops women to lead, create, and to generate wealth in the fullness of our equality, purpose, and business. So please check out the bio to learn more. So we want to say thank all of you for joining us for another episode of the Women's Leadership Mindset Series. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, here's to the journey, and let's move forward.